Thank you guys for tuning in the channel today. We're going to be building bag C of the Tekno SCT410 2.0. We're going to start by putting our bushings in. Smaller one goes on the outside. Larger one goes to the inside, like so. Take our gear right here. If you notice, it's got a flat. It's going to go through there. The flat. I'm having that facing up right now. This is going to slide onto that, and the set screw will go down into the flat. Before we do that, I'm going to install this little washer right here over the shaft. Get us a little Loctite. I'm going to put a little Loctite in that hole, and then I'm going to get my set screw here, put it on my wrench. Maybe put just a dab of Loctite on it as well. Anytime you're going metal to metal, want to be sure you use Loctite. I'm going to insert that like so, making sure that that slot and the hole in the flat are all lined up. I'm going to tighten that down. Just hand tight. Reasonably tight. So that looks good. Next, this is the front gearbox. So we're going to install the front differential. If you remember, I scratched an F on that for front. And the kit comes with these two shims over here. It probably doesn't need shims, but when I put this in here, there's not really any wiggle at all left and right. Maybe when I rock it up and down, I don't know if you guys can see that, but I can barely feel it. There's a little play. So I'm going to try one shim and see how that feels. Put the shim like that. We're going to slide the shim and the bearings down in this bulkhead. Like so. And did you hear that kind of click? I think that's good. That little tiny click when it slides in the other side. And I'm spinning this. The mesh feels good. There's no grinding. Feels like it's moving pretty easily. I know the top isn't on it yet, but you just want to put shims in there. You don't want a lot of play in this. Otherwise, you might strip some gears. But that feels really, really good. All right. We're going to go ahead and put the top of the bulkhead on. Like so. And we can put some grease in here from the bottom after this is installed. You got 4 screws here. They're all the same length, so that's good. Going into plastic, so it shouldn't need any Loctite. And we're going to put it in these 2 holes, there and there. And I'm going slow as to not strip any plastic or overheat the screw and melt the plastic. Turn my torque down a little bit. Insert my other screw. Feels pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and give this a turn. Once again, Feels nice and smooth, not really binding, no grinding. Let's get some grease on this ring gear before we put the bottom on. Just going to take it. I'm just going to spin the gear as I apply some grease. It's probably good enough. Move that, work that in. May take it and get some down in there on that gear. Make sure you're getting those gears nice and greased up. Next, we can go ahead and install the bottom. Goes like so. After we get everything all greased up. And these are really tiny little screws. So I'm just going to try to turn those by hand. Do not want to strip anything. Just put it in by hand. And I wouldn't try to put a whole lot of pressure. Just when that's flush, I'm going to stop. Screw there and there. Looks good. Looks like we're going to put our shock tower on here. And it's going to go for now with the shaft to the back. It's going to go in this hole and this hole with our two remaining Allen heads. Go ahead and install the other side. All right, got that on. Looks like the only thing left to do is install these guys right here. And it's looking like stock position is shown right here, which is the second hole from the inside. And we're going to find a wrench and get those tightened up. All right, take my pliers here. I'm going to hold that flat. Take my wrench. Just tighten this guy up. Should look like so. Go ahead and do the other side. Should look like that from the back. Diff feels good. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Bag C of the SCT410 2.0.